There's an ominous force hanging over Fortnite Island, and its name is Galactus. The devourer of worlds is coming for Fortnite Island, and we best hope that the Marvel heroes being assembled can stop him before he destroys everything we know and love. Galactus is an ancient being that predates the universe as we know it. Being so old and huge makes him hungry for power. Thus, he must devour entire worlds to maintain his own life. It's a troubled and isolating existence, so Galactus picks a herald to help him discover suitable planets to consume. Luckily though, Marvel heroes just keep coming to the game. With the newest edition of Blade, we're certain the heroes will have no problem beating back the dreaded Galactus. We've known Galactus has been coming since the beginning of the season, but we shouldn't have been surprised that he's on his way. Sprinkled throughout Chapter 2 have been little hints that something was lurking high above in space, and it was coming for our precious island. Looking back in hindsight, we can safely assume that these were little hints to get us looking up. But don't feel bad if you missed them though. These clues were difficult to find and take a wild imagination to put together. We feel like we're putting our tinfoil hats on for this video, so buckle up and strap in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Before we jump into the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, click the bell so you never miss a video, and leave a comment about what you want us to cover next. Also, don't forget to use code NewScapePRO in the item shop. This is NewScapeGames, your source for Fortnite news, leaks, and theories. Ancient astronauts. Around the middle of Season 3, players watched as the lowering water level revealed a crashed spaceship. This spaceship held the body of Dio, the male counterpart to the female Battle Pass skin, Siona. It looked like something out of a classic 60s sci-fi comic book. Players would find the missing pieces to the spaceship and insert them inside the ship. After fixing the ship, it took off, presumably working on autopilot as we don't think Dio was in any shape to be flying. As the ship flew away, it rifted out of the map and into space. It has been speculated that this was the rift that attracted Galactus to Fortnite Island. You see, the increase in activity above the skies of Fortnite Island is probably why we're seeing Galactus coming towards us. His eyes were caught by such dazzling light shows, but we suspect the real reason he's coming is lurking far below the island, so stick around to find out about that. Later in the season, Dio returned mysteriously and brought with him rifts. Rifts were a major factor in Chapter 1, with Season 5 being the season they were introduced. In that season, we saw a plethora of objects, POIs, and items get rifted into the game from other universes. Clearly, the Fortnite Island was a hotbed of multiverse activity for a while, and it was only a matter of time before Galactus took notice. Deadpool. Season 2 of Chapter 2 had a very secret skin for the season. Try saying that 3 times fast. Deadpool announced his inclusion in the Battle Pass with his characteristic bravado and charm. As he hid away in his little hidey hole for the most of the season, we were left with one big question. Why is Deadpool here? At the time, it seemed like a fairly odd choice to include Deadpool. There were no big Deadpool games, movies, or shows coming out. It left us with many questions that were never rightly answered. Until now. We believe Deadpool had a very specific reason for coming to Fortnite Island. In the comics, Deadpool has fallen in love with Lady Death, the personification of death itself. He craves her loving embrace, but due to his healing factor, there's just no way he can die. Deadpool also has a vast meta-knowledge of what's happening and what's going to happen in the Marvel Universe. Our theory is that Deadpool came to Fortnite Island all by himself, to die by Galactus' hand. He knew Thor wouldn't bring him here, as no one in their right mind would want to hang out with him. Thus, he had to journey to the island himself. It might sound out there, but we're sure that Deadpool is just that crafty. The Storm King. Almost a full year ago, players were treated to the Storm King LTM. In this mode, players fought against a massive boss from the Save the World game mode. This was a lot of fun, and players struggled to team up and take down this boss together. We are all but sure that a similar game mode will be implemented when Galactus arrives at the island. It would only make sense that such a massive villain would get their own LTM mode. We see the Storm King as a sort of beta test for the eventual Galactus mode. They needed to work out all the bugs in the gameplay, especially if they are going in the direction we think they are. You could probably expect all the various power-ups from all the heroes to be included. We're hopeful that this game mode will arrive with a bang and let players stand up to the dreaded Galactus themselves. As much as we loved the final showdown event, we'd rather handle this monster ourselves. 0 Point. Players might remember the 0 Point from Season 9 and X. This was a vortex of energy that held unimaginable power inside of it. So much so that its power awoke the sleeping monster underneath the Ice King's castle. This monster lurked around for most of Season 9, until it finally battled the robot at the end of the season, dying in a most epic way. The 0 Point itself is something of a mystery to Fortnite players. It was first referenced in the original rocket launch, after which it started to tamper with reality. The source of unimaginable power caused Jonesy to sail through time and space in the Season X trailer. He eventually landed back at the island we knew and loved, only for the island to be a weird mishmash of previous incarnations. The meteor that destroyed Dusty Depot hung in the air, just waiting to destroy it once more. While it may have been the portal that Dio's ship went through that alerted Galactus to Fortnite Island, it is this 0 Point that is the real prize. This power should satiate Galactus's hunger, at least for a little while. It could also be that rifts draw their power from the 0 Point itself. All that said, Lord help us if Galactus gets his hands on it. Captain America. Arriving during Season 3, Captain America seems to be the first Marvel hero to use the Bifrost to arrive on Fortnite Island. We should have known then and there something big was coming to the island. Captain America doesn't just show up for no reason. He's clearly here as the forerunner to the larger group of heroes that arrived in Season 4. We almost think that Epic released Captain America to gauge whether players were interested in Marvel skins during a time when there was little Marvel content being produced. It must have sold well enough because now we are treated to a whole season of Marvel goodness. Coral Buddies. During Season 3 of Chapter 2, players can complete a series of tasks that helped a species of sea anemones advance their society. By giving them wood, stone, and metal, you were able to help them usher in a new age for their civilization. This all culminated with the nuclear age. You had to find a specific item and deliver it to their nuclear testing site. After doing so, the Coral Buddies would launch a nuclear test, causing a sizable explosion. These challenges were secret, and players would have to find out about them through word of mouth in order to complete them. This was an interesting choice on Epic's part, as it became a cool way for players to affect the landscape of the map without forcing them to. Why we think this hinted towards Galactus is that it is yet another reason Galactus would take notice of Fortnite Island. Galactus was created during a time where nuclear war was a big worry for many people, and Galactus is kind of an externalization of that worry. Just instead of a bomb, he's a giant humanoid that eats planets. Essentially the same thing. The Device Event. At the climax of Season 2 of Chapter 2, Midas, the leader of the agency, tried to destroy the storm. His plan ultimately failed, and as punishment, the storm created a wall of water that would eventually cover most of the map, and it would result in Midas's apparent death. But what if Midas wasn't simply trying to destroy the storm? We put forth the theory that Midas had much bigger intentions than we've previously believed. We think that Midas may have been trying to break the cycle and stop the 0 Point. If he had been successful, Galactus might never have noticed Fortnite Island. With all the commotion over the 0 Point and the power it holds, it's clear that it is the source for everything that happens on the island. Every little thing. It's what causes the storm, the loop, the bridge. It's the heart of the island and the game. Everything is connected. Okay, now it's time to take off our tinfoil hats. Those were the 7 clues Galactus was coming that you missed. This season just keeps giving us new and interesting topics to cover, and we can't wait to bring you more videos in the future. If you enjoyed this video, comment down below what you want us to cover next. We're always looking for the next hot topic in Fortnite, and we could always use a hand. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, click that bell so you never miss a video, and share this video with your fellow Fortnite gamers. This has been NewScapeGames, your source for Fortnite news, leaks, and theories.